and more love in the world. To dance under the stars, to ride my bike around the world, to hike remote mountains, to learn new languages, to laugh and play and cry with those I love, to learn and grow and evolve my soul. That is my why. What's yours?
The Japanese, who are the longest lived people in the world, have a concept called ikigai, or the reason for being.
In short, it's the state of 4 elements: what you love, what you're good at, what you could be paid for, and what the world needs. The science is clear. Those who have more meaning and purpose in their lives live longer, regardless of their lifestyle. We live in a world that is full of expectations and demands and struggle, and for many of us, when we finally reach our golden years, we are spent, tired, and often sick. 1 in 6 Americans has a chronic disease, and according to the National Council on Aging, about 80% of older adults have at least 1 chronic disease, and 68% have at least 2. No wonder so few want to live to be more than 100 years old. Aging seems to bring inevitable dysfunction, disease, and death. Aging is scary. But what if instead you could live to be 120 years old, go for a hike with your beloved, swim in a mountain pond, cook and eat a delicious meal, make love, and then just drift blissfully out of this life? That's how I would want to go. In fact, I'm counting on it. But if that seems like a fantasy, it's only due to a failure of imagination. A failure to think about aging and disease in the light of the current science of human biology, a science that's disrupting all our concepts of health and disease. Aging accelerates the risk of all chronic diseases: heart disease, cancer, diabetes, dementia, high blood pressure, autoimmune disease, and more. The truth is that what we see as, quote, normal aging is in fact abnormal aging. It is the result of myriad changes in our biology that are treatable. Aging is not considered a disease by most of medicine today, but what if we start approaching aging as a disease, and a treatable one at that? While American medicine has not embraced this idea, the World Health Organization has officially recognized aging as a disease. But we are hampered by a medical paradigm that focuses downstream on symptoms and diagnoses, not upstream on causes and mechanisms. Remarkably, the National Institute on Aging receives less than 10% of the National Institutes of Health budget, which is about $2.6 billion. And of that, only $260 million goes directly to aging research. The rest is spent on the downstream diseases of aging, like dementia, not on the mechanisms or the underlying causes of aging. Contrast that to the problems we're trying to solve. Our annual healthcare expenditures are about $4 trillion, most of which are for aging-related diseases. Does it make sense that we spend only 0.0065% of the cost of the diseases driving those trillions in spending on research into the actual causes of those diseases, while we spend the vast majority of research dollars on how to treat those downstream diseases? It's like mopping up the floor while the sink continues to run rather than turning off the faucet. Rather than study the root causes and underlying mechanisms of aging, we look for drugs to block abnormal processes and suppress symptoms. But even if we found ways to completely cure heart disease and cancer, we would add only 5 to 7 years to our lifespan. Nowhere near the doubling of lifespan that occurred last century with sanitation, antibiotics, and vaccines. The cost savings of extending healthy years of life, even 2.2 years, would be enormous. $7 trillion over 50 years, or even more, according to some researchers. Now imagine if we could extend it 20 or 40 or 60 years. Yes, a society of sick and frail old people is expensive. But what if they weren't sick? What if they were healthy and strong and contributing to their families, communities, and societies? There is a scientific revolution happening today that is forcing us to change our entire view of health and disease. It's a paradigm shift as big as the discovery that the earth is not flat or that the sun does not revolve around the earth. This revolution is called functional medicine, also known as systems medicine or